I'm Branton Shearer, and I'm the creator of the Midas assessment. And I started working with this idea of multiple intelligences in around 1986. And it's been my job to bring this powerful idea of multiple intelligences to teachers and to students. And I bring that to them in the form of this self-assessment, a profile. I'm here in Holland because I was invited by some very wonderful people to bring this profile to their teachers in schools and in organizations to help teachers maximize the growth and development of their students, but also for teachers to develop their own professional growth. And it's been my privilege to be involved with a number of organizations here, Center for Creative Learning, BCO, and O2, and it's been great. Well, the Midas stands for Multiple Intelligences Developmental Assessment Scales, and it is a self-report that adults, teenagers, or children can complete, parents can complete this questionnaire regarding their child, regarding yourself, and the result of this is you get a 3-page profile that describes your intellectual and creative life. The Midas is a self-description of your intellectual and creative life, and after you answer the questions, you get a computer-generated 3-page profile. Page 1 of the profile describes your strengths in the 8 main areas, and it also describes your intellectual style, your preferences. Do you tend to be more creative, leadership, or practical problem solving? That's page 1. And on page 2 of the profile we call them subscales, and they are your specific skills and abilities. Now this is very important, and it's different from most other brief checklists that you might find on the internet or in books, because this describes in careful detail your skills and abilities in 26 different areas. Page 3 of the report provides scores. Well, Professor Howard Gardner at Harvard University in 1983 wrote the book, which is Frames of Mind. And in this book, he provides information and data that says that there's more to being smart than what shows up on an IQ test. IQ is most commonly associated with success in school. We call this book smarts or school smarts. And that's one part of what it means to be intelligent. But there are at least 6 more different intelligences that account for success, not just in school, but in everyday life. Brief checklists that you might find on the internet are not valid and they're not reliable. They are for fun. They are for entertainment purposes. And they probably won't make a real difference or a real change in a person's life because they're not valid, quite honestly. And so teachers really cannot make very much use of this. The Midas profile provides you with scientifically validated assessment that a teacher can use to understand an individual student who may be struggling, but you also have information to understand an entire class of students. So you can engage the whole class, not just a few students to be successful, but the entire class. And you need good information, not just superficial or overly simplistic information to make a real difference. The Midas is useful and can be very important because it focuses on students' strengths, their intellectual strengths, their thinking strengths. And when you focus on strengths, you can then use learning activities that maximize the learning potential of the brain. As people in Holland use the Midas, I would like them to remember maybe 3 things. The first thing is the Midas is not a test. The Midas is a self-assessment. It is a process of understanding who this living person is, living and growing and changing. And we don't label them with a single number or even 8 numbers. Instead, we describe their intellectual and creative life as carefully as we can. All things can change and grow. The other thing that I like to always remind people to do is to build people's intrapersonal intelligence, their self-smarts with children, their self-understanding. And also to use the language of multiple intelligences to describe how we think. We don't label people or individuals. We describe carefully their thinking. And if teachers can do that and teach students how to do that, we will give them a power tool to enhance their learning for their whole life, right? Not just in school, but in everywhere. They will understand themselves and they will be able to use this toolkit of thinking, the multiple intelligences, no matter what they do. And if they can do that, we'll make a big difference in the world.